Hi guys, Mr. Polley here. So, this week I'm going to be reading another 2 non-fiction books. Now if you remember, non-fiction means books that have information in them and are about things that are true. So let's have a look, shall we? So this one is called Mushrooms and Toadstools. So let's look at why this is non-fiction, shall we? Now, this is not a story about mushrooms and toadstools. This is a book of information and facts about mushrooms and toadstools. So this is all stuff that is definitely true. It's not made up. And it's true and not made up means that the book is non-fiction. Okay? So let's have a look at it together, shall we? Now this book is a little bit more tricky. Okay? So let's have a look. It is written by Keith Pigdon, so that's the author, and photography by Bruce Fuhrer. Okay, interesting. So this one isn't illustrated, it's just photographed by someone. Because remember, this is a non-fiction book, so sometimes it's better to use photographs instead of drawings to show things that are not made up, right? So here we have the contents page. This tells us what different things we can find in the books, and then we've got these numbers after them. These numbers show us what page we can find these different topics. So look, here we can see our first page. What are mushrooms and toadstools? Mushrooms and toadstools are both fungi. They are not plants. They both have caps and stalks. They look very much the same. Oh, there's some more writing here over here. Look, fact file. Most of the growing fungus is hidden under the ground. Oh, right, so even though we can see these toadstools here, there's probably more fungus that we can't see underneath. Interesting. So look, these are all different kinds of mushrooms and toadstools. This fungus is a red bolete. It grows with trees in open forests. Oh, interesting. It looks a bit gross, doesn't it? How do mushrooms and toadstools feed? Mushrooms and toadstools get their food from the plants they grow on. Mushrooms and toadstools do not have roots. They have threads that grow under the ground. Mushrooms and toadstools feed through these threads. Fungi feed on plants that are living or plants that are dead. Oh wow. So look, these threads are used by large mushrooms to gather food. So wow, they look like little bits of string, don't they? Oh look, there's another fact file over here that I missed. Fungi cannot make their own food like plants do. Oh, so if you guys remember from probably GS, plants get their food from the sun and from the soil, and they make their energy from that. Fungi do not do that. So mushrooms and toadstools, they actually basically steal their food from other plants. How do mushrooms and toadstools grow? Mushrooms and toadstools grow from tiny spores. They do not grow from seeds. Mushrooms and toadstools make millions of spores. The wind blows the spores to new places. All fungi need water to grow, but only some need sunlight. Oh, so that's really interesting. This orange peel fungus has a cloud of spores. So look, these are the spores puffing out from the orange peel fungus. Interesting, because it looks like orange peel, doesn't it? So these spores in this tiny cloud will blow away with the wind, go somewhere else, and grow new fungus. How do mushrooms and toadstools help plants? Some mushrooms and toadstools help to keep the soil healthy so that plants can grow. Mushrooms and toadstools make the soil richer. This rich soil becomes food for plants. Look, the top of this puffball fungus splits to make a star shape. Interesting. This puffball is called an Earth star. Interesting. Look, so this one hasn't split yet, has it? But this one has burst open. Or maybe it's this one that hasn't split yet, and this one, the star pieces have just gone. Really interesting. They're such weird looking plants. Not plants, fungi. Mushrooms and toadstools grow on dead plants. Some mushrooms and toadstools grow on dead plants and tree stumps. They help the dead plants and tree stumps to rot quickly. The dead plants become part of the soil. They become food for living plants. Look, Big Jim is a large fungus that grows on dead tree stumps. Interesting. Big Jim is one of the larger fungi. Interesting. Big Jim, what a strange name. Look, you can see here it looks like GYM, which looks like it might be said gym, right? But actually, just like gymnastics, we use GYM. When we say that, it sounds like gym. Mushrooms and toadstools grow on living plants. Some mushrooms and toadstools grow on the roots of living plants. They get their food from the plants. Mushrooms and toadstools also help the plants they grow on. They help rot the fallen leaves. The rotted leaves become food for the plants. Look, here are the mushrooms, mushroom threads, the tree trunk, and the roots. And over here it says, fly mushrooms grow on oaks, chestnuts, pines, and birches. Now oaks, chestnuts, pines, and birches are all types of tree. Fly mushrooms can be mixed with milk and used as a fly poison. Oh, so they use it to kill flies. Interesting. Can you eat mushrooms? Many mushrooms are safe to eat, but other mushrooms are poisonous. Safe mushrooms. Many people like to eat mushrooms. Mushrooms that are safe to eat are grown on farms. You can buy these mushrooms in shops and supermarkets. Oh, I see. So don't eat any mushrooms that you don't buy from a shop. Mushrooms are eaten in many different countries. Interesting. So look, these are some mushrooms for sale in Japan. And look here, you can see a little girl buying mushrooms in the supermarket, or helping her mum to buy them maybe. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that was an interesting book, wasn't it? All about mushrooms and toadstools. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye everybody.